right, team. Let's get into it. So, today's topic is 10 steps on how to change your mindset to get the success that you want. Okay. So, what I notice when people are struggling with their goals or whatever it may be, or if they're in just like a negative frame of mind, that we cast blame and shame and judgment. Okay. And as soon as you cast that blame and shame on yourself, right, you become stuck. And when you cast that shame and blame to others, you also lose your power. And then you fall into the victim. And then you have this victim card that you can use to dodge and hide things and not face the truth. But then you slowly dig yourself a hole, right? A hole of denial. And you lose the beautiful things in life and you get out of a flow state, and you lose your power. And the only way to take your power back is by taking ownership and taking responsibility and taking responsibility for anything in our life, right? If we're overweight, it's because we ate it. If we're broke, it's because we spent it. If you have shit relationships, it's you didn't take boundaries in place. And we have to see this in a positive frame of mind that yes, this is all my fault, right? All everything that happens to me is because of me, but I'm also the person that can fix it. And in that way, we can go from the victim to the victor, right? And we can free ourselves from the shackles of victim mentality. Because, you know, evil or whatever you may call it, or just negative energy, wants us to be the victims because victims are very easy to control, right? If we have no power, no say, if we're just going to be down in the dumps, then we're not going to do anything about it. Okay. And those type of people, when we're feeling this way, is that, things can set us off easy. And yeah, it's very easy to get manipulated when you're in that state as well. So, as I said, the first step is ownership. What are you going to do about it? All right. What are you going to do? You don't like where you currently are right now. What's the next step? And the next step is forgiveness. So forgiving yourself for everything that's happened. Maybe you have to forgive someone else. Like for me, I have to forgive my parents, right? By forgiving my parents, I was able to forgive myself. Then from there, the third step is the idea and the goal. What do we want and how are we going to get there? Like, what's the plan and what do we need to get there? And then it's just aiming with the mindset that's 1% better each and every day and just reframe it because things are going to happen in life. We're going to go up and down, right? As like our emotions are, sometimes we feel good, sometimes we feel sad. That's a part of it, right? Sometimes we're going to feel motivated. Sometimes we're not. And just understanding that those feelings are going to happen, but those feelings are fleeting, okay? Then the first one is just taking action and taking risk. If we don't take risk in life, then there's no reward. To win lotto, you actually have to buy the ticket. So there's got to be some risk. And even if we fall down, if we fail, that's actually a really good thing because that's feedback and data. If we didn't fail, we didn't know what to correct. And then that would actually lead. Imagine if we didn't have any feedback that something was wrong, will we leave living like in a false reality? The next one is reflection, and reflection is really important because with reflection, we can learn from the failure. If we just fail and fail and fail, we never reflect. I mean, we still will learn a little bit about from the failures, but without the reflection, we can't really move forward. We can't show gratitude, which is one of the most important things within mental health, and everything like that. So then the seventh one is that we have to hang out with like-minded people on the same journey as us, or people who are also like who maybe are a level above. We've got some ladies that have lost like a significant amount of weight within our program. And so we can learn from them. And success leaves clues. that we can look at them and be like, oh wow, like they did this, this, and that. Maybe I'm going to take a thing or two from their string. Maybe if you know someone's doing well, you can ask them a question, because success will always leave clues. Okay. The next one is like, what skills do I need? Like, what do I need to level up? And some of you want to lose weight, and that's why you join double digit coaching. And so you need some more skills around health. Okay. Like some people would want to, maybe the goal is to increase health and that I mean wealth. And so maybe they'll do like a budgeting course, or they'll do a finance course or something like that. Maybe it's to improve relationships and learning how to set boundaries with people. And most of the time, if like we improve one thing, it's going to help something else, right? Like if we learn how to set boundaries with people, then we learn how to set boundaries within ourselves. Therefore, that's going to actually help us with our health and fitness goals. Okay. And a lot of the times with double digit coaching, there's like a few ladies who have done really good in their career and their business and things like that. And how you create a really cool career or a really cool business is the same fundamentals as how you would create like an awesome, like an awesome healthy body as well. It's the same principles that are involved with that. And that comes to the ninth one, which is like structures and systems. So we all know that structures and systems create awesome outcomes. So we just need to make sure that we do that in all areas of life. And then we're going to get amazing outcomes. Like when I wake up, roughly what do I want to be doing? Like with me, like as soon as I wake up, I try to go and exercise, because that's a great way to get in a good frame of mind. I get into a really good state of mind and I change my state. Like if I don't exercise straight away, or if I exercise later on to the day, my like mindset, my mood, my abilities to get into my likelihood of getting into a negative mindset is a lot higher than if I don't exercise in the morning. So exercise is really important to me, and to get it out as soon as possible. And that could be like the gym, walking the dogs, things like that. Okay. And really changing the states. And so if you ever feel like you're in like a negative mindset in your negative frame, you want to change your state. So it could be like take a cold shower if if you feel like that helps. Personally, I'll take a warm shower. I'm not one to jump in like an ice bucket or anything like that personally. I know it's like a trend going on for like the last year or so. But or it could be, going out in nature, or it could be doing your favorite sport, or it could be doing any type of hobbies just to get you in the right frame of mind to change it, to snap out of the negative mindset. Because if we're in a negative mindset, we're going to get negative results. That's with our health, that's with our relationships, that's within our work. Okay. So changing the state and control the frame of your mind, and you can control anything. And your mind is a palace. You have to be very aware of what you let in and who you let in, because it's very like it's the most important thing that we have really is our mind. And so like yeah, and what are we listening to? What are we reacting to? Everything. I've talked about that a few times. Um, or it's like a lot of people tell me that they're struggling with stress. Stress is just a build-up of emotion, and that's that's all it is. And so again, going back into to changing that state, and then we change the game. Um, and yeah, and just think like, what beliefs are holding me back? Is that belief actually mine, or is that someone else's belief? All right. And a really good thing with reflection is just seeing things in a bird's eye view and kind of zooming out. Okay. And when you zoom out and you see yourself in a bird's eye view, you can be like, okay, well, I'm challenged at this stage. Like, what am I going to do? Like, what advice would I give myself? Right. Like, what I've said before, what advice you have to be, what advice would you give to your best friend? And then you have to become your own best friend. Yeah, it's kind of like that. You take a bird's eye view and be like, okay, what would be the best thing, removing emotion from it? What would be the best thing to do in this situation right now? And then you want to actually use associate and do that thing and do the do and make it happen. So it could be like, for example, you have someone that's being mean to you at work, right? And you're getting emotional. Why are they mean to me? Like, what are they doing? Blah blah blah. And so instead of just getting angry about it or getting emotional about it, you deassociate and be like, okay, well, what would be the best thing to do in this situation right now? And it could be like, well, I could either tell my manager, or it could be like I could have a word with the person, say I don't appreciate them, did I offend you? And then actually coming up with an action plan. But if we stay in an emotional state, not only it doesn't work for us, but it can also hurt us at the same time. And really, I think it comes down to just really embracing change and really going like, all right, I'm gonna really give this my all, and I'm not gonna retreat. Because I used to do that a lot with my goals. Like I'll do it for a few weeks, and I'll feel uncomfortable. As soon as it felt uncomfortable, I'll run away. And I noticed that with my health. I noticed that also years later, with like personal training. When I was a personal trainer at the gym, and I wanted to go onto the online space and create double-digit coaching, I'll get a few clients here and there, and then I'll run back to personal training because it's scary. Like, oh, like I'm doing this, I've got all these extra expenses, like I don't really like this. And then I'll go to what's comfortable. But what started happening is that the pain of staying at the gym became way too much, that I had to do something and I had to choose my pain. It's the pain of, being stuck where I was, or the pain of growth. And at least with the pain of growth, I get to end up somewhere. But if we stay in the same spot and stay in pain, then we're gonna just suffer for eternity, right? And it's gonna always suck at first when you do something new, but once you push through that and you keep on showing up, the habits start to stack, and then you start to feel more confidence. Okay. I think a few months ago I talked when I got back into the gym, after having caught quite a long break from it. I struggled to do like 60 kilos with a bar, which was pretty embarrassing for me. But I said, well, this is where I'm starting, and this is where I have to start from. And my last time I tested my PB, I put 90 kilos on, so I went from 60 to 150. So it's just about the small steps and just be like, okay, this sucks now, but in a year from now, it's not going to suck, or in 3 months from now, it's not going to suck. And just doing the small things to get there. And it will get better, like with all habits of life. We just have to stick to it and just think like who's the person that I want to be. And when I first started getting back into lifting, I was just like, well, I want to be someone who's strong. I want to be someone that's, like my son would be proud of. I want to make him proud, and just thinking like, who do I want to be? I was just like, I want to be strong. I want to be able to defend myself. And thinking like, yeah, who's this person that I want to become, and then making the steps to get there. Yeah, because if you're unhappy, well, we have to make a plan to change. And if we follow everything that I mentioned through the call, then you are going to get there, right? Just like with anything in life.